The Battle of Stones River, another battle that was tactically indecisive, but strategically important for the Union since the CSA retreated in its aftermath. Yeah, that's not happening. Major Army Adjustments. Grab the single colonel and general from the barracks. I'm buying all of the scoped Whitworths from the armory, as well as the Palmetto and Colt melee cavalry weapons, though I won't be using cavalry this stage, so I won't equip said melee cavalry weapons just yet. I'll also grab the 10-pound ordnance, Tregigars, 24-pounders, and 20-pound parrots from the artillery tab. I don't think I'll be needing the 10-pound parrots, so I'll be skipping them this time. Lastly, I'll be grabbing the CS Richmond rifles from the infantry tab, as well as the batch sitting in the reputation menu. To the army now, and for their continued excellent service, and the fact that I finally have enough, I'll be upgrading the 2nd Scout Snipers from the normal Whitworths to the scoped variety. And with the extra non-scoped Whitworths I now have handy, the 3rd Scout Snipers will finally get out of the old Hunter rifles and into the Whitworths. And finally, in the pre-time skip part of this video, the 1-1 long-range artillery battery is now my first artillery brigade to earn its 3rd star. So let's look at their perk choices. There is some bad news with these perks, and that's both that the huge efficiency and the huge firearm bonus in them appear to be buggy, for both choices. Insert sad face. Oh, right. For the non-bugged portion of the perks, the long-range perk increases the damage of both the long-range solid and the medium-range shell shot by 25%. It also gives a 10% accuracy bonus, which will further increase damage at any range. The short-range perk gives a whopping 50% bonus to any short-range canister fire, as well as a reduction in reload time. The way I've arranged my artillery, with long-range, medium-range, and short-range specialist batteries, it would seem that the perk choices would be self-explanatory. And indeed, that's what I'll be doing. In your own game, however, give some consideration to always taking the long-range perk, even for cannons designed to be used in close support. The fact is that both accuracy and reload rate increase damage output, but only one of them also increases ammunition expenditure. Also, even under ideal circumstances, close support batteries will often find themselves firing their non-canister rounds. Still, theory crafting aside, I'm going to be picking the long-range perk for the long-range battery, so here it is. And now, to the fade. So what did I spend the last hour doing? Here's the recap. I've rotated the sniper teams again. The 2nd Scout Snipers will be in 1st Corps for this round, and the 3rd Scout Snipers will be in 2nd Corps, with the Snipesmers moving down to 3rd. This is another one of those stages that makes for a great training opportunity for these guys. May as well take advantage of it. I've rotated my artillery a bit. Over in 2nd Corps, I've moved the long-range batteries into the 1st Division, as well as swapping one of the infantry with the Scout Sniper team, the mid-range cannons into 2nd Division, and over in 3rd Corps, I've made the entire 1st Division cannons. It's almost like I know what's coming. Back in 2nd Corps, I've swapped the infantry of 2nd Division, giving them 1 mid-range and 2 scrub teams. I also removed 4 brigades from both 2nd and 3rd Corps, sending them to the unused 4th Corps for this battle. For both corps, that move consists of 1 infantry team and the 3 cavalry squads. Sorry guys, no horses this time. I've updated the 113 sniper infantry's guns to be the CS Richmonds, so that all 3 of the sniper brigades in 1st Corps have the same weapon. I also promoted several of the brigades that had earned their 2nd star back during Fredericksburg to mid-range or sniper teams, and equipped them with Enfield's or Lorenz rifles as appropriate. And, of course, refilled all brigades back to nice round numbers, or at least as nice and round as I could get, since a couple of the new sniper squads are a bit over 1,500, and a couple of the scrub teams were so close to the 2-star experience edge that I just decided to give them a couple extra guys to bring them back to 1 star, and we'll decide what to do with them later. And you may notice I haven't renamed 143 Scurb yet. I'll actually be leaving them out of this fight, so no rush to decide if they will be the mid-range Scurbs or the Sniper Scurbs. one more quick click of all 4 cores, just so that anyone who is into this type of thing can pause the video and scrutinize them, and then to the battle. Abraham Lincoln has ordered an all-out offensive across the country to take advantage of Union material superiority over the southern states. The strategic attack to the center, at Tennessee, would be executed by the newly appointed commander of the Army of the Cumberland, Major General William S. Rosecrans. At least 2 of your best corps are needed to stop him. On December 26, 1862, Rosecrans marched from Nashville to meet our army. We decided to hold our ground on the banks of Stones River at Murfreesboro, a town of strong symbolic value for the Southerners. On December 30, Rosecrans started to deploy on the battlefield and probably plans to attack the next morning along one of our flanks. At dawn on December 31, the Union soldiers are still having their breakfast, unaware that we are preparing to attack first on their right flank. This area here happens to be from way back in the Stay Alert video, so nice when we get to revisit old vacation spots. As it happens, this stage is a lot like Stay Alert, only reversed. Instead of us defending this spot from a large attacking force, this time we are the large attacking force. This stage appears to allow you to bring 3 corps, with 20 brigades per corps taking part. This is horribly misleading. So this is going to be a bit long, but bear with me. The stage will be 2 days, the first being 3 phases long, and the second being a single phase. Phase 1 is this area, Phase 2 will expand to here, and Phase 3 will expand to this, with Day 2 narrowing it down to the top half of that map. The first 2 phases will each have objective points, but they will have no bearing to the stage's success or failure. They are just of the advance the phase earlier than the timer says variety, so there is no real incentive to take them. But enough preamble, on to why the core distribution is so bad. You need video number 24 of a micro YouTuber's strategy guide to get you through this with any sanity left intact. The core placed in the bottom will play out as expected. You'll get to deploy 20 brigades of your 24. However, also in Phase 1, 1st Division of whichever corps you placed in the top spot, I'll be using 2nd Corps, will be on the field in the woods at the north here. This is going to be a prime stationary cannon location, hence why I adjusted 2nd Corps' 1st Division's cannons to be their long-range group. Also, 2nd Corps' general will be present, but their supply wagons will not. Thankfully, I have 2 full wagons from 1st Corps to help out. When the map expands to the 2nd phase, the 2nd Division of 2nd Corps and 5 out of the 6 brigades of the 1st Division of the Central Chosen Corps, which for me will be 3rd Corps, will come into play here. Again, this is prime cannon location. However, neither 2nd nor 3rd Corps' supply wagons will be present at this point. Those 2 wagons from 1st Corps are going to have their work cut out for them. When the map expands to Phase 3, the 3rd Division of 2nd Corps, the 2nd and 3rd Divisions of 3rd Corps, and that last brigade from the 1st Division of 3rd Corps will all come into play at this area, and the 2nd and 3rd Corps supply wagons will finally arrive, and probably be given immediate orders to go to the existing artillery hills. Note that if you finish securing both objectives in this phase and hit the finish button before the stage's hard end at 1945, you can end this stage immediately in victory. However, if you completely wipe out the Union forces in the first day, then the stage will immediately move to Day 2, where they get a small amount of reinforcements instead. I will be going the Day 2 route, not just so that I have an extra 1,500 Union troops to mow over, but also because, due to my numerical advantage, it's also the safest plan for my own troops. On Day 2, the remainder of your troops will show up to 20 brigades per corps anyway. Hence why I took the 4 brigades out of 2nd and 3rd Corps and had them go sit in 4th. Also, all of your forces will be repositioned to the south and east edges of the map no matter where they were before, so there is no sense trying to set up a battle line as Day 1 draws to a close. Since there are no functional objective points in either of the first two parts of this battle, those phases will be used to thin the Union ranks, as well as maneuver my own troops into position for the big hits at the end, when I preempt the Union's main strategy before they can pull it off. The main Union strategy that, just like in Shiloh, involves starting from a defensible position and then retreating over the phases to an even more defensible position. But those diagrams I'll save when I actually get to the relevant parts of the stage. General Rosecrans is marching from Nashville on a mission to seek and destroy our army. If the Union secures the small town of Murfreesboro, it will have a negative impact on our cause, as it is the home of the American Revolutionary War hero Hardy Murphy. Furthermore, Yanks can advance deeper south into Tennessee territory. Might want to lead with that next time. We are not willing to allow them marching further into southern soil. Although the ground is not especially favorable, we will defend the banks of Stones River. We don't expect them to attack our center, as it would be suicidal. We should not attempt an attack here either. They seem to mobilize for an attack to our right. If they take the heights west of the town, they could flank and push us south. So far, our cavalry is delaying their actions on this side. Before they decide to attack us, we will concentrate our forces to strike their right flank tomorrow morning. General Rosecrans has established his headquarters at Nashville Pike. If we advance and take it, we can surround his army and finish them before more Yank reinforcements arrive. General, we are ready to attack the Union right. The Federals appear surprised. Advance quickly and push them back north where they came from. I have a better idea. It is advised to hold your forces at the center and attack only when the enemy is weakened enough. This map will allow you to deploy 20 brigades in 2 boxes, the top one allowing 8 units. The biggest thing to note up here is that right here in the forest where the 1st Division of 2nd Corps will spawn is also a massively important viewpoint. Also, the majority of this forest is dense woods type. That is what makes this area such a good stationary cannon location. You will be able to see a lot of targets, and very few of the people in here will get spotted in return, at least during Phase 1. As such, the 8 units that I can place in the top deploy box will be the 8 cannons of 1st Corps, as well as the double supply wagon. All of it will move right into the woods next to 2nd Corps' troops. 2nd Corps will have 2 sniper infantry that will stand guard here and here, as well as their sniper team that I will start around here, but move constantly to try and find snipes of opportunity. They are all going up here because half of the Union Army this phase likes to move in and around this area. You will be able to continuously smash the bejesus out of them for the entire first phase. The AI doesn't like approaching these woods, and I don't blame them, but they will occasionally move troops south of them over here. As long as the number is small, you can have your sniper squad nail them repeatedly and send them packing. But if they send anything significant, then have the southern infantry slide south to make sure your cannons don't get swept. Or, alternately, have the dozen batteries that are all in here spin south and obliterate whoever dares approach. The cannons are best lined up with the close support right up with the infantry, and the mid-range right behind them. But the long range should align themselves towards the north edge of the trees. For Phase 1, they will still be able to get in plenty of good shots at the mass of enemies that congregate at the north. This placement is so that they can immediately bombard a certain couple of targets come Phase 2. As for the rest of the army, 11 infantry and a sniper squad will all start here, along with the general. Half of the Union Army will be at the north getting blasted by our guns, and the other half will be dug into the forest here, and engaging a large forest-covered force from open ground is not an ideal plan. So I'll be busting out the same strategy I pulled back in Port Republic. Total apathy. The Union want these trees? They can have them. Our infantry will spend the entire first phase walking along the south edge of the woods, out of vision range of the Union forces, until they get to about here. Then they will turn north and move to about here, at which point they will turn back and start heading into the areas at the north edge of the map in preparation to occupy the defensive wooded terrain come Phase 2. Timing-wise, these guys should just be arriving in location when the Phase 1 timer ends. They should encounter no resistance. The Union do have a couple cavalry units that like to run around this area, but that's what these sniper scouts are for. If they see horses approaching, nail them from outside of view range and try to turn them around. The Union in the woods will either be stuck there accomplishing nothing, or some of them may try to join their northern forces, which will just get them blasted by the cannons. A win-win for us. About the biggest challenge the sniper team that's covering the cannons will face this phase is making sure they don't exhaust their stamina bar with all the enemies they will be mowing over. While it's tempting to have them never stop harrying the Union troops, don't forget to give them short reprieves from time to time. With this many cannons all getting free shots, you can essentially pick and choose what you want to eliminate. Enemy cannons are always good choices, as are multiple brigades clumped together so that they take a lot of splash damage. If neither of those are available, then a target outside of the wooded cover can also be knocked down quickly. You know, I could probably drop their general in 1 minute flat here. Yep, no more general. Enemy falls back. We attacked so ferociously that their right flank has collapsed. Push them further north and secure Wilkinson Pike. Don't give them a chance to breathe. 2nd Corps' 2nd Division and 3rd Corps' 1st Division have appeared here, bringing in even more cannons for me to splatterize the Union troops with. But there is some bad news. The Union's new troops start in the woods here and have a potent vision point under their control now, so they can see into the woods where both sets of my cannons are. If you look closely, you can see the hidden eyeball indicator has fallen off of some of the troops at the south. Not that that changes our plan any. Both the Phase 2 new arrivals, who you should push in, and the Phase 1 cannons, at least the long-range ones, I'll leave the short and mid-range up to you, should switch targets to the new Union batteries. If we can remove their cannons, then it won't much matter if they can see mine in the woods or not. Also, the Union will start fleeing north at this point, but they will be doing it piecemeal. Plenty of chances for more damage from the side here. Our 1st Corps Infantry flanking squad is right where they need to be. Their goal is going to be to occupy the woods here with about 4 units, whose job it will be to hold off any sneaky retreaters, like the enemy cavalry always seems to like doing. The scout snipers can head to this gap, where they can provide long-range fire against anyone who decides to end up in this wide-open area. The remaining 7 infantry's job is to head into these woods, evict the Union from the east side of them, and then set up to receive the bulk of the current Union forces during both this phase and Phase 3, when they will all be trying to break to the north to the final phase, where the Stay Alert mission took place, and its significant defensive options. We don't want that to happen, at all. After the Union have been chased out of here, you can also slide the infantry from the right over to close the gap if desired. That small house here is a great place to put a highly trained brigade to prevent the Union from effortlessly crossing this open field to try and evict your anvil in this... Well, it's not really a hammer and anvil strategy since there's no hammer portion, but if the Union want to repeatedly run into the anvil of their own volition, I'm not going to object. This phase has a 3-hour timer, but if things are going well, it won't finish. In addition to the stage moving to Phase 3, if the Union are wiped out, or if the point is captured, there is another trigger. There is a section of the map that is roughly here that if you happen to move your own troops into, will accelerate the phase transition. The more troops in that area, and the closer they get to the northern border, the faster the transition will happen. Since our plan will be to move through the woods to evict the Union from them, we will have more than a few units within that trigger box, and Phase 3 is going to start way earlier than the timer would indicate. This, however, is not a problem. Phase 3 of Day 1 doesn't end until 1945, so any extra time not spent on this phase can be used in that one instead. And as long as our guys are in position, we want the Union to try and retreat through them, which they will then start doing during Phase 2, but won't really go all gung-ho about until Phase 3. I assume this is like all of the Union cavalry in the state trying to get to the left side of the map here. Well, that was fast. Attack Nashville Pike. We can now surround and destroy the Yankees' rush and capture Nashville Pike before they rally at the hilltop. The western section of Nashville Pike should be lightly defended. Our cavalry can move there fast. Most of the rest of 2nd and 3rd Corps are here now, including the supply wagons we've been waiting for. Send most, if not all, of them south across the river ford to join the cannon batteries. Odds are a lot of them are getting low on ammo, and the 2 wagons from 1st Corps are going to be about depleted at this point. As for the forces themselves, the Union forces that we already know about are largely dealt with, provided my 1st Corps can move fast enough. So, take all these guys and send them north to the river ford at the map's extreme north edge. They can get in behind the objective defenders, while the rest of our army picks away at the now isolated main force. Every single Union troop south of that vision point is going to try and move north. If your force isn't set up in the central woods before the Union's south group reaches them, this stage is going to go pear-shaped. Admittedly, I thought I had at least another 15 game minutes before the phase shifted. Otherwise, I would have already started sliding the 3 infantry groups from the 2nd cannon forest over. Time for some sprinting. I'm on the clock here. I'm not going to have time to push everyone out. I need to reverse some of these brigades, like now. There's actually a Union brigade in the defensive point here, but that's about all that stands between you and the rear of their defenses. Just don't do what I did and send the Snipesomers in front to go find them. It wasn't a total disaster, but I really didn't need to let them take a single hit either. Oh, also, with the 7 infantry from 1st Corps and the 2 that came over from 2nd, I have just enough forces to cover the entire edge of the woods. Once I get everyone set up, I can swing over the cannons from Cannon Forest number 2 into the center woods for closer support. I'll just run over that defending brigade with a ton of troops here. While I do still need to push out those 2 Union brigades from the bottom left of the woods, the rest of the Union's self-imposed surrounding is basically set. I can slide over the cannons from Cannon Forest number 2 to the central woods now, and start firing at the biggest clumps of open field infantry I can find. The cannons from Cannon Forest number 1 can join them in the turkey shoot, although they will probably want to spend some time removing the remaining Union guns in the south first. if I'm lucky, the snipesmers can drop that cannon squad that's hanging out just past the edge of the wall without attracting return fire. At this point, the major strategic move is complete. The South Union group is cut off from the North one, and the North one is getting hit in the backside from a full corps worth of troops. I'll go ahead and drop this into 5 times speed as my cannons make mincemeat of yet another poorly led Union army. I mean, I don't want to subject you all to watching me stand around firing cannons for the next 7 game hours. Even my boring delivery style has standards. I've got so many idle brigades in the north, I could have easily slid a few of them to the left to hit the backside of the guys defending the second objective, but I wasn't sure at the time where the last couple Union cavalry went. I believe I had counted 10, of which I only saw 7 get routed, and I didn't want to walk into 3 of them hitting me in the side all at once. Well, found some cavalry. I guess I'll chase them to the top left corner. The entire Union South is now gone. I'll just pick up the supply wagons and move all the guns in Cannon Forest number 1 up to the central woods. The amount of artillery I'm going to bring down on the remaining defenders can best be described as unnecessary, but since cannonballs magically rematerialize themselves into my supply wagons for free between battles, I really have no reason not to. I'm going to be a bit cheeky here and move my snipers into the edge of some trees to try and get free snipes at both the remaining cannons and the wall defenders. Not a move for the faint of heart. New Year's celebrated on the battlefield. General Rosecrans' army managed to survive our vicious attack and now stands on strong defensive ground. On January 1, 1863, both armies rested and took care of their wounded soldiers. We surrounded them and we expected them to withdraw, but they seemed determined to fight to the last man. So be it. Prepare to attack, let no one escape. We must secure Nashville Pike before more Yanks arrive. Otherwise, our heroic soldiers would have died for nothing. Seriously? I thought the Union would get at least a few reinforcements for Day 2. How on earth is this going to play out? General, Nashville Pike must be held at all costs if we want to claim victory today. The Federals will soon reinforce their positions with thousands of soldiers, so we must act now or withdraw. They have trenches covering the whole surrounding area, therefore we must advance with caution. I guess? Yesterday, they have extended their left flank at this field at the opposite side of the river. We could attack from this side to sneak into their rear, or I could have already done that last phase. We are ready to attack from southwest, from south, and southeast. Good luck, General. I'm not sure I need luck for this. I'm not sure I need an army for this. What am I supposed to do against 0 people? I guess I'll get some stamina training in? Oops, never mind. Stage over. Total loss for the Union, and I only lost about 5% of my own troops, resulting in a 9-to-1 casualty ratio. The top 3 spots were all taken by my sniper teams. Lol. Casualty-wise, the worst I got on a trained brigade was 272 men off of 221 mid-range, though that was largely because they were the team on the right side that ran down 3 different Union cannon batteries. It looks like I had no officer casualties, but that's only because I lost no one on Day 2. I had 2 injuries on Day 1. And the Mouse Master himself has finally earned his 3rd star. I got a wide variety of decent gear, but there are no standout items like 20-pound parrots or some such. Meh, I'll let the music finish. Wow, that's a lot of new advancement, and multiple infantry teams got their 3rd star, but I'll worry about that later. 2 points into medicine.
Sir, yes, sir!
About 80,000 new Union troops, not that that's unexpected. And they kinda need them. But that's it for this video. I'll catch you all in the next one.